This is why in schools they're cutting the first things to go when they lose funds is the more creative, the more entrepreneurial, the more hands-on learning. They want you to learn things that are going to be helpful in as a worker for somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's a pipeline to the what do you want to call cat time for money system.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take up all your time and give you a little bit of money, and we'll give you just enough.
Yep.
So you can pay your bills.
Yes.
Yeah, but nothing more than that.
Nothing
though.
more than that.
So you can retire when you're 80.
Yeah. So I would say, and this is not a dig on public education, right? Because this was a public school. It's just how they operated their school, and so this is too why I believe homeschooling and micro schools are a little bit more popular too, because the kids have more freedom in their learning, and you can't expect a 5-year-old to sit in a seat for 8 hours a day, like. Biologically, that's just not how that happens. So for me, as if I could control that, I would, give more range to the students. These kids are so smart, they're so creative, and they are very limited in their creativity and just their innate abilities when they're put in systems that want to control exactly what it is that they learn. So this is why I advocate to parents is, okay, if you're going to send them to public school, great, mine go to public school. Okay, now we're doing extra things at home to learn about ourselves, to learn, harness those skills that you love to do. My son loves art. Okay, but we're going to color, like we're going to learn about color palettes, color schemes, like, let's draw all these things. My daughter loves music. I threw at her from my bachelor's is in vocal music, and so I had some African American music history books. And she loves R&B, hip hop, contemporary music. I said, here you go. Here's a new book for you to read. So like harnessing it on those skills, and learning, and being curious about the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's pivot to you're a leader in our community. You're outside.
Sure.
You're not doing those 8 hours in the office. You're 8 hours outside in the community, engaged, putting on events, and doing things that are creating impact. As an event specialist, what responsibility do you feel in creating spaces where people feel seen and safe and empowered?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Yes. So I really, again, going back to the topic about finding where do I belong, right? I like to create that environment for myself as well. And so just really honing in on the spaces that we're in. So I like to create different events. If it could be small gatherings, it could be large community events, but really capturing like what is the essence of why we're doing what we're doing. What do we want to highlight? And so, in the past, focusing on Black History Month, why is it important? Well, there's a lot of reasons. You have the economic empowerment. When you're having these types of events, you're really highlighting, the possibilities and the celebrating the achievements of what people have done, throughout certain time frames. And so I just really love, more importantly, the power of connection and having people be in community together. Because in 2026, we all, they're trying to drag us down the technology rope, and being stuck behind a screen all day. And so as somebody who grew up, in the 90s and 2000s, growing up with technology, I know what it's like to not have it versus, our children, my 13 and 10-year-old, they don't know what it's like to not have it. And so,